Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Cecilia.
Hiya, I'm Odile.
Hi, I'm Lizzie.
Hi, I'm Pearl.
Let's chit chat. Ladies, today we have a topic, an exciting one. The topic today is why are single parents looked down on? Why will someone even look down on a human being just because you have children and you're not married?
Okay. Well, I assume for me, I think it's because people, traditionally or in the olden days, every woman should be married before they have children. And that was how society...
Modern days, olden days.
Olden days, yeah. That's how society went. But I think in this modern day, people are single parents for a vast number of reasons. It could be, there's so many reasons why a person
So
is
why are
single
they
parent.
looked down? Why?
I think that stigma still stays from that time, and I think we as a culture haven't moved forward with time. You know, we're still thinking that people should be married, and with having children out without being married is a taboo still in modern day, which now it can be so many different reasons, as I said. Somebody could have been divorced, somebody could have been a widower, somebody,
That's fine. Let's hear from the other woman.
Okay.
I think it's come to with culture as well, because we have a lot of African cultures who really look down on single parent. Single women especially. I had a friend whose husband said not to talk to me because I was a single mother. So
Wow.
they're really, those culture,
Wow.
they're really into it, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, they still look down on you.
Wow.
So it's more to do with culture. I think a big part of it is culture.
Why should we say that? Illiterates, because
I think things are changing in their culture, but very, very slowly. Because even as a widow,
You're single, isn't
they're
it?
still looking down and they're questioning how your husband died and how you understand. I think it's still a really big problem in those. I won't name them here, but I think we do know what I'm talking about.
It's very, you are on point, because single parents, I would say it in a way, either man or woman. People look down upon single parents because they thought they don't have value.
Wow.
Because they don't have husbands. But it's not, being a single mother or single father does not mean you are a bad person. It happens, as Pearl said, it's many problems that are caused to it. There is a cost to it. Someone can have children while the person is married. Yes, the marriage has been broken, the person has become single. That does not make that person bad person.
Well, saying about it, the statistics show now that many single parents, either women or men, they coming from divorce, they have been married, they have raised, have children in a very marital home, and now they're single. So should we say that people are really less educated, or they don't want to educate themselves, or they're just illiterate? Because you need to know people's background. If someone is in a marriage where the person is being abused, the person is being kicked down or nearly being killed, or physical or mental abuse, and they get out of that relationship, should they kill the children because someone will call them single? What should they choose to ignore their children or abandon their children? Is really a big thing in society, where some places you do go as a single parent. The only thing, once you say, oh, I have children, are you married? No, people are looking at me like, you're thinking, are you real? Are you taking me for me, the person who I am, or for the situation that I am in? What do you get it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Statistically, on paper, so long as you are one parent with a child, you're looked on. For me, I think people tend to look down on them because they're deemed to be, as Lizzie said, a bad person or an outcast of society, or in this country where we are, they're dependent on the state, or they're lazy. They don't want to actually go and they've got a certain kind of
the box they have.
Their box that they kind of put people in. you know, rather than just taking people as individuals and not realizing that, I mean, as you said, the statistics show that a lot of people come out of divorce. A lot of single parents come out of divorce. Now, if you're coming out of divorce, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not working, you know, you haven't got your life together. It's just an aspect of your life that's broken down, and that's now caused you to be single. So, for me, I think it's a stereotype. You know, it's a certain stereotype that's a perception that could,
But before people, I think this comes, like you said, a long time ago, many of our parents were married and they stayed married. With a modern society, people are marrying and divorcing every single day. Before, it used to be, when you see someone single, you know that, oh, it's a single girl a young girl who just unfortunately they happened to be pregnant before they got married. But now it's no longer the same anymore. If you see 100% of single parents, probably 80% were actually married. It's probably just 20% that were not married within that. So you shouldn't really judge them without knowing their story, without knowing their life, without knowing their background, without knowing their situation. And it's getting back to the stage where some women are even judging more than men now.
Yeah.
Women are very judgmental.
I'm not stopping you, Pastor Cecile. There is an aspect that also we tend to not to take into consideration. You see, there are times you're dating somebody and for some reason, I mean, there are some women, they're just by going and look, they fall pregnant. Now, there is an issue here. For men, it's okay because they don't want to be there. This wasn't planned. What they don't take into consideration is your body. They will direct you, it's either you have an abortion or I'm not around. They don't think about what that abortion will impact them, what that will do in the future. So what they do here is that they say, oh, unless I'm not ready now, this wasn't planned, this is not part of my program, this is not my... So it's either you abort the child or I walk away. So as a woman, what would be my choice? Especially for some people who are really like,
you have to keep that.
You know that I will not do this. I will not go through this. Then you decide to have that child. Does that make you a bad person? No.
What I was trying to say is that having children or being a single mother does not make you a bad person. But we have some stigma in I'll put it in that way, in people's mind that, oh, if Pastor Cecile have children and have no husband, mean that she's a bad woman. This is it.
So I will call it non-educated, people who are not educated, because you have to really...
It's whether you are, because we have so many women who really have higher qualification. No, it's in our mind.
So that means they're not educated.
No, but they have to see. We are rejecting
this culture. At the same time, in this culture, you see many broken marriages. In their family, the person will come and judge you. If you go to their family, you will see that there are many broken marriages in their family. Maybe because at this point her marriage is still standing and she doesn't even know what will happen to her tomorrow.
You know, I won't cut you off, but sometimes the sad thing is, when you go somewhere and maybe ladies get together, and then you see married couples around somewhere, singles are other side. Won't detach you, and you are a single woman. You're trying to, bring out something like it's a conversation. You're trying to somebody, in their motive. This is what I think. They won't in their mind. They won't tell you keep your mouth shut because who are you?
Because you're single.
You are single.
So you see?
Yes. So it's like me. I take it as a bully.
It's education.
For me, I agree with both.
It's education.
I think people need to be educated. It's lack of. I won't necessarily education. I would say wisdom, lack of intelligence.
That one is not even wisdom. What will make you not know that things happen in life and people get divorced. Situations happen when marriage cannot carry on. So do you go and hide your children? Do you get
so it's the ability to think. Why I say that is because you are just going on values that have been passed down without actually contemplating them for yourself
exactly.
and thinking, does this make sense? Because in this modern day, it's not like the days of old when women needed to have partners or husbands. Nowadays, women can actually look after their children themselves. Women and men, shall I say. You know, single parents. You can. Because let me draw it to your attention. Even in married families, if you look at the statistic in it, what you notice is that there's usually one dominant parent and another quite silent parent. So it's usually one strong parent that kind of brings up the children anyway. Right? So if in this modern day, for example, you know, either party is in a relationship that is not working for them and they choose to leave that relationship for whatever reason, the partner may have died or whatever, and they then choose to raise their children on their own, I don't think anybody has the right, really, especially in this day and age where you can do things.
I'm not stopping you. You know what?
I watched a program just before I forgot. I watched a program, and Margaret Thatcher, she was interviewed on that program. She said that children of a single family, they're rather better off being raised in a church. You know, when they used to have church setting, church covenant, they rather be removed from their parents and place them in the oven. I was thinking to myself, is it for real?
And that is an educated
do you get me? And that is an educated. I looked at that and I'm thinking, is it for real? Will a woman choose to just be by herself? No. If you're married, you wouldn't choose to just gallivant by yourself and say,
if you're not getting the support that you need.
If you to move out, it's because something has happened that is wrong.
There is a point here that we are neglecting. Honestly, I've seen this a lot in African culture. I've seen friends and family and colleagues who are so miserable, so miserable in their marriage life that I say at some point, you know what, I'd rather die alone in my bed than being in this kind of relationship, just because they do not want to be labeled as a single woman.
Well, that's
the man is not there for nothing. They work so hard with their kid. They do every single thing.
And I'm actually a single parent, but it's just
they are single. They just
but you know, as though you were saying that you know, according to Margaret Thatcher's research, what she said, yes, I know many children out there who have parents, both of them living together, but when you look at it, it's more than single person. And I've seen only single one-handed person who stay with their children and make sure that whatever I did not achieve, I will not allow my children
then I think people like that even are the one judging more than other people, because obviously they're in a bad situation where maybe they cannot get out or they're scared to get out. So if they see someone else who have been brave enough to say that, you know, I wouldn't die in
because
this
you know that
situation.
saying.
So they've been now trying to put you down.
You know that saying, misery likes company, and it's exactly that. They are miserable in their situation. They want you to be also miserable.
And you know one thing is, we African women, we are worse than anywhere else, because they will be the first one to judge. This woman is not married. Is she married? Oh, she's not married.
Because her attitude is very bad. They think her character is very bad.
Some of them are very insecure in their marriage. So when they see you there, you have children,
it's a form of envy.
You can raise your children.
But you know what? I'm always say this. Bad relationship is more than cancer.
Definitely.
So I would rather prefer staying single and then move on, look focused, than, you know, being in a bad relationship, which my children will get out from my house.
And there's another point that just came to my mind actually as well. It's like it used to be thought that single parents or single women especially would have children with so many different men, or they're very promiscuous. That was the point that perception
do you know, someone asked me that question, right? They asked me, how many children do you have? I said it's 3. And they said, oh, well, no, they didn't say about the children. They know the number of children. They said, oh, how many marriages, how many husbands have you had? I said, what do you mean by that? Do you get me? Someone who knows me for a long time. And they said, how many times were you married? I said, what do you mean by that? How many times was I married? They said, I thought you probably were married 2 times. I said, no, I wasn't married 2 times. I was married 1 time.
You should have.
I had all my 3 kids in the marriage.
You know,
with their dad. So it's not because we are divorced. So people will just assume.
Does it really
it doesn't matter.
It can happen. You can be with somebody, a very good relationship, you have a child with them, and I tell you, I met so many women who said, I was very happy married. We wanted a child. As soon as that child came, everything went down the hill.
Exactly.
So, and then they separated after they had that child. And that doesn't stop you
from going to have another
relationship and another child, and that doesn't make you a bad person. So I really think it's something that people need to talk about, because people are not talking about. Children are not talking to their parents. You see some culture, you have to marry. The pressure is so much on you to get married and you have children, and you go there, the money is beating you up.
You just touched on something. You just touched on something. Sorry, I'm not cutting you, about the children. That's the thing. Sometimes it is better for the child to be raised by a single parent. For example, if the children in a family, in a home, there is constant arguing, constant shouting.
The majority of the time, before you even get out, you have damaged the children.
You traumatize the children.
Because the fighting and the argument and the difficulty. So the children are witnessing all these things. So by the time they come out and something happens to them, they will say, "Oh, children from a single mother." They don't know that because of that marriage, the marriage that damaged them. So now only the result of that is actually coming out later on. It did not start when the parent that one parent was raising them, which is rather unfortunate.
Yeah, it's about time for people to misjudge. They have to stop judging people. Because living in a, nobody want to marry his or her enemy. We were meant for lovers, we were meant for understanding. But when you are in a relationship and it turned into abuse, it turned into disrespect, it turned into misunderstanding, and arguing in front of the children and your well-being, you are not happy, causing your health, and then you get out from that relationship,
and then
which is unfaithful relationship, put it in that unhealthy relationship, put it in
then you're judged again.
And then people out there, they are not into you. You have to be yourself. I'm always encourage single parent. I said, look, all is not lost. If you lost your marriage, that does not mean your life has been lost. You have to start from somewhere. Somebody that you see, that you look up to, that person starting from somewhere. Don't allow anybody to look. Don't allow anybody to look down upon you. Be yourself. Be a woman by yourself. If a man come into your life and the man said, look, you have 4 or 5 children, you have 2 children, because you have been to different relationship, and the person doesn't love you. To me, let the person.
I think one thing that you said, that the most important thing is, when you now a single parent, then you have to select the relationship that you want. Because that is the most important thing. Not to judge you as a single person, but now you have to judge the relationship that you put yourself in. Because from there, that is when it matters. But not to be a single because come on. Who wants to stay without a child if you can have a child? You will love to have a child. You will love to have a child in a caring, a loving, and with 2 parents together. Who wants to raise a child by themselves? Everyone wants to raise a child with their dad or with their mom together. So if you have been unfortunate to...
Having said that, I'm not cutting you, because you've got to remember now as well, we've got a new breed of women. Well, I won't say new breed of women, but we've got a breed of women who, from the get-go, set out to have children and raise them by themselves, and they don't even, those women who even go to the donor clinic and have no man's participation.
That is very true, but then people are confusing all these things
and just labeling.
Situations are different.
Like what you were saying, nobody knows.
Exactly.
So they only know what they see. They only put that stigma on you. You are single mother. Why did the man left you? Because the child, giving birth, like let's assume the child is just a baby, and then they don't see no father. They ask, this lady, she's not a good woman. I presume the man have to marry you. Why? Because
I think every woman who is married is actually
married is
or even happy.
And the thing is, we have to know that marriage is not meant for everybody though.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always said, I prefer being, single and happy myself than to be, I've been in a bad relationship before. Talking about relationship where you will cry, you go into bed and you wake up, your pillow is telling you that you wet, you cry. And no, it's going to affect
your pillow is telling you that.
Because you went to bed.
So then what you do with the children? You leave them there where they come and see your pillow. That is
you have to pretend.
You have to always, and you see, that alone is not happy. It's not healthy.
You have to pretend and let the children know that all is well.
Yeah.
But within your spirit, nothing seems to be happening. Yeah. So for how long are you going to be pretend?
So I think education starts with women like you and I.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
Women,
we are talking about it now.
Women have the power to affect negatively and positively to the society, onto other women. But the sad thing is, before a man comes in and judge you, it's a woman who will judge you first.
Oh, definitely.
It's a woman who will say, oh, that one, she's not married. That one, she's not married. And you know, in our community, right, when they gather people to speak, like you said, Sister Lizzie, earlier on, they will gather people to pick. They will pick the women who are married because they think that, this one have wisdom, those one will have more understanding. Yeah. I'm telling you, you go to our society, you go to our church. If you're not married, you are pushed on the side.
Even in the family,
you can have all the knowledge in the world, all the contribution, all the understanding. You can help and support.
Yeah.
The fact that they level that stigma is there, they rather go and take someone who doesn't know.
But you know something?
Just what is it? It's a face value.
Face value, exactly. Value. But this is why I encourage all women, or not even just women, all people. Know yourself. Yeah. Because once you know yourself, it doesn't matter what people judge, how people judge you, what they say to you. Because people look at me, for example, I'm going to say relentlessly, how do you do it? And it's because I really don't care what people have to say. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're not in my home. You are not the one raising my child. You are not feeding me. You're not bringing any actual value to my life. So your opinion to me doesn't matter. And I think for us women, that we need to be more like that, to be strong enough to be able to face whatever the world throws at us. I will tell you that you can actually be strong enough. But when someone come and hit you with that word that you know that is actually wrong, the sad thing is they don't need to know about the story. They don't want to know about the story behind your life, the story behind your situation. They will talk. But because so by the time you go and hear something that is really not you, it brings you down. But you know why it doesn't bring? Sorry, Lizzie. Sorry, but you know the reason why for me that doesn't necessarily matter, because nobody should be able to bring you down, because you need to remember that people only want to bring you down so that they can feel more superior. Brilliant. Yeah.
That's what I was about saying. Yeah. Like, know yourself.
Exactly.
Be yourself.
Exactly.
Be empowered. Empower yourself.
I'm just going to say one point here. There is a minority of guys out there who think being a baby daddy or whatever, going and impregnating people and running away is fashion. I'm not ready.
Oh, really?
You need to think about the girl you're going. There are a lot of women there who are raising children. They didn't plan to have them, but it's just that they didn't believe in abortion. But you went to them. You guys who are there, you single guys, you need to protect yourself. You know that I'm going into this relationship, I'm not ready to have a child. Protect yourself.
You heard it. Thank you, ladies. You heard it. Protect yourself. And women who are out there judging single parents, know that you have to think before you go and judge someone. And it can always happen to anyone. Yes. There's no limit. It can happen to anyone. If it has happened to one, it can happen to the other. Exactly. Until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. This is Teacher. Let's Teach Chat. Be very happy to have you. Happy to have you on board today. Until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.
If you'd like us to discuss your pressing issues, please contact us at contact@letschitchat.co.uk.